money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. You win some, you lose some.
But you live to trade another day, live to make another
Is
play.
it the bottom yet? I'm tryna buy up everything. Not gon' get upset, just pull the trigger, let it bang. When I see a trade, I'm hopping in like a Uber to secure my future. Up early just like a rooster. Eyes glued to the computer, looking for a bag or two. Market cipher on the screen, compliments of trading view. Now I know what I'ma do. Buy low and sell high. Even if you try and fail, at least you didn't fail to try. I don't wanna be the type of guy that let fear win. I'm the one that dive in head first and bust my chin. I know FOMO is a no-no, but I still get it in. Now I can't predict the future, but I know I'm bound to win. Later or sooner, I'll be the big kahuna. Cause I got big kahunas. I was not scared to get money, I took me some chances and now I'm the big kahuna. And if you scared, might as well get neuter. I'ma keep chasing my dreams. Wake up and mansion so big, I need a segue to get from wing to wing. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day, live to make another play. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some.
But you live to trade another day, live to make another play.
Don't be scared, G. Like paid in full, get your bread, B. Cold wallet full of crypto, yeah, Big Lebowski. Can't forget to tip the waitress. Fur and loathing in Las Vegas. Tupac told us about the changes. People hating on your greatness. Mansion looking hella spacious. Shoes, they ain't got no laces. This the Aquarius age. Life happen in different phases. Out with money, in with crypto, analog to digital. Could've been rich, but you was scared. What a imbecile. Say you want a miracle, but you bet the minimal. Should've bet it all. Hell no, not the unthinkable. Grow some balls if you got a pair. Man, I double dare you to put it all in the market. No sir, I'm not trying to scare you. Seeking and searching, I need some more money. AI is scary, make us look like dummies. Serious about profit, I need it, I'm hungry. My music all over, but I'm from the country. Bank account thicker than Manuka honey. Got multiple wallets, don't go in my pocket. Either's a favorite, but I don't discriminate. Scared to get money, get the hell up out my face. You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day,
Live to make another play.
win some,
Another day,
you lose some.
another play. Live to trade another day, live to make another play.
Win some,
Another day,
you lose some.
another play. Live to trade another, live to trade another day.
Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some. But you live to trade another day, live to make another play.
Live to trade another day, live to trade another, live to trade another. Live to trade another day, live to trade another, live to trade another day, another day.
You scared? You scared?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. Just want to remind you guys that we do these live streams Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we have been on a 90+ week streak doing these live streams, sometimes 2 times a day. And we started on a new thing where we are doing an 8:30 market recap at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays. But welcome, everyone. Hope you have had a good week so far. Happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. Hope you had also a good weekend. If you're just coming in and you missed me yesterday, hope you had a good weekend. And we're going to be discussing Polymarket, and we're going to be discussing the big investment that this that basically was invested by through the NASDAQ. Big investment on Polymarket, and Polymarket is back in the United States, and it is powered by Polygon Rails. So we are going to be getting into this. We're going to get into how Polymarket basically got a lot of stuff right and has this weird kind of morphing of reality and actually being able to, you know, pretty much predict what is going to happen with some of these events, whether they be small or big ones, like we had with the presidential election, like we've had with certain, you know, things about the feds, or just certain things that have been, you know, basically the community of people dictating and basically predicting the future. So it's pretty awesome, and it's just this weird thing. So I'm going to try and find this clip. We had the Polymarket CEO clip that we showed a few weeks back where where they were explaining this and kind of getting into this, and it was creeping me out. So hopefully we can find that clip again, but we're going to get into this. We're going to get into how gold is basically, I think, signaling that fiat currencies around the world are in trouble. And so gold is getting a lot of that share of basically fear from debasement of fiat currency, not just the dollar, but the yen, all the currencies that are printed and are getting weaker and weaker by the year. And so what is interesting is that we're seeing gold as the indicator for this, but where are we going to see the next influx of capital? I think it's going to go into crypto. And then we're going to get into the BNB all-time high and how this is going to lead us in the direction of what is going to pump next, because BNB just crossed XRP in terms of market cap, and it's crazy, you know? So I think about how XRP was the first to pump out of all the altcoins pretty strongly in terms of gains from a bottom, you know, 30 cents, 35 cents average to all the way to $2, and then eventually break an all-time high. So it's gone up, and that was the first major, you know, pump in a fundamental altcoin. And then now we have BNB breaking those all-time highs, and it seems like we're going to see some ecosystems that are going to then follow, hopefully, that same path, and we're gonna see if we can find those. All right, but welcome everyone. Give a shout out to everyone who is here. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit that like button. I've been having fun over the past couple days actually making these thumbnails, and I really had fun making this thumbnail, and I don't think there's anyone who is, you know, getting as creative as I am with my visual thumbnails. So I had fun making that one. This was fun. I think I should make more thumbnails like this. What do you guys think? Give me a rate on this thumbnail. 1 out of 10. I'd love to know your thoughts, please. And so a hint on what ecosystem I think might get some market share again is the TON ecosystem. So I think about Durov. I think about how much this was like just in on the timeline in CT whenever he was basically sidelined and bamboozled by the God, where did he go? Where did he go? And then they stopped his flight. They like redirected his flight, or it was like a trap. Was it France? Or is it? I can't remember. But wherever it was, I remember when all that was happening, and he was detained, and then TON went down. But I still feel like the TON ecosystem and the capabilities of wallet and how many people, I just think of users, and you think about with crypto and users and accessibility and stuff like that. That's where I want to look, because then that's where you think, okay, it's always the talk, how can we get millions of people start to use a thing? That's what Coinbase is really trying to do. They're spending a lot of money trying to onboard retail into using their crypto apps. And I just think about what Telegram can do for in terms of world adoption because it's users worldwide, and they have the wallet inside of Telegram, and a lot of crypto people use Telegram, and even the businesses inside of crypto use Telegram. So I think Durov might come to pump our bags, and we'll start to look like Buff Durov, Buff Wojak, and I think that might be an ecosystem that we want to keep track on. And we do have a trade on TON. It's not looking too great. We have Bitcoin. So like I said, Bitcoin goes down 1%, and Bitcoin goes down 1%, and your alts will look like crap. So we're still wanting Bitcoin to trudge along, but we're getting a little bit of a pullback, and it's crazy that while we're getting even just a little bit of these pullbacks, gold is just crushing it, and it shows that this is a great example of how RSI can basically RSI and oversold, and doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stop and go down. Like, look at how much this has continued. It's just gone 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just crushing right now. And so if we're in an uptrend in a bull market, and with gold, look at this. This is crazy. So because a lot of the times with alts, once we get into this area, it's usually like, oh, we got to sell, we got to get out. And it always doesn't look good. We always have to go retrace, retest, back test some levels. But look at gold. I mean, it's just crushing right now. And so I think to myself, if gold is crushing it right now, if the S&P 500 is breaking all-time highs, the stock market in terms of the NASDAQ is breaking all-time highs, it just... Jordan, I'll have to check. My Discord is Dano Crypto 777, and there's no like dots or anything like that. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, because I saw that you sent me a friend's request, and I sent you a message. I'll double check. But what's going on? Hope everyone's doing well. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. That is the YouTube currency. But look at this. I mean, it's wild that, we're having such good sentiment in the stock market. And I think because the uncertainty is gone from the tariff scares, there's a lot more negotiations and possible deals, and high percentage of deals being made with the Middle East, with, let's say, Qatar, Hamas, Israel. I'm praying that can get resolved in a way that is actually will benefit, all sides, and we can just like kind of stop that. And then also, it just seems like where we had political like tensions, it feels like to me like it's starting to, like, instead of becoming like a head, like, oh my God, we're about to go into World War III, nuclear war. Like, I feel like it's going the opposite way. At least that's my feeling. And it's represented, I think, in the risk on, in the markets. Like we're going into more of a business cycle where it's like, we're not in the war cycle, we're not in the fear, uncertainty, doubt cycle. We're in the, like, let's just get this like digital capital markets flowing hard. Strong long, strong long, baby. And so if gold isn't flashing as the indicator here that the cryptocurrency markets are going to absolutely go on a freaking tear, then you have to reanalyze how you're looking at the macro setup for the next 10 years. And especially how it relates to AI, and where so much money, think about the investment that America has made in making AI data centers, data farm, like basically just like putting all the chips into AI to not, get beat by China. It's always like a competition. If like China's going to do it first, but then they're going to break stuff, but then also America, we're going to be right behind, but we're going to make sure we don't break as many things and like, you know, destroy the planet by doing so, because China will just be like, yeah, we'll set up an entire massive island-sized solar farm on the ocean or the river and kill all the fish under it. And then they'll be like, well, that didn't work. Okay, so let's try that again, you know. So, but it's all built on energy. This is all based on energy dominance, AI dominance, and what powers that is crypto. So this is how you have to think long-term holding crypto. That's why the 4-year cycle is broken in crypto adoption. The 4-year cycle is broken in crypto adoption because it is now going to be the base settlement layer for AI. It's going to be the base settlement layer rails for every single type of betting prediction markets. It's going to be all of the settlement layer and rails for stablecoin issuance for companies, for stocks, real world assets, RWAs, geolocation stuff because of XYO and oracles, bank communication for CCIP stuff where banks are going to be able to operability, OMNI chain, talk to each other, and Swift is using Linea for its rails for being able to have their own layer. Blockchain, I mean, this is AI agents that are going to be acting as representatives of companies and financial banking services. Agents are going to literally be using, they're going to use blockchain. So all we need to be invested in just where all that money is going to be flowing and the liquidity and where that liquidity is sitting. And we just need to be holding this long term because look, you know, I'm sure you guys are around between the age of like 25 to 45. That's probably the average age of who's watching my channel right now. And I'd wager to bet that you're probably not like at the retirement level where you have enough money to where you can like then, you know, like have enough money to pay stuff comfortably for the next, you know, however long. I doubt it. So, but if you do, that's amazing. If you do right now, then yes, then you got it. Just protect it. But when you start to think about how, like, where, you know, the next 5 to 10 years of where we can be super patient, we will then have enough money to have the next 50 years, 45 years, if you're gonna be lucky to and blessed enough by God to live like past 100 and healthy and have people take care of you. Or, I mean, at that point, robots are you might be half a damn cyborg at that point. So, especially if you're super rich, you're going to have all the access to all the tech. You're going to have access to all that stuff. You know, that's how you have to think about it. Like we've been thinking small-minded. We've been thinking so small-minded in terms of crypto adoption and where it can actually go. And you're not even thinking on the fact that like you are going to be so rich. You're going to be so rich that you are going to literally have access to the best healthcare for your family, the best medicine, the best everything. That's what it means to be rich. And then you have more time because you're at least, you know, and you can't factor in for you know, things of life, but you could at least you do good by God and you do good by your family. You put God first and you take care of your family. I mean, this is how we're going to be able to really thrive. And I don't want to say survive. I'm going to say thrive in the future by being patient for the next 5 years, because we need to be able to really lock in on these 5 years right now to then get to those points. So it's the 4-year cycle. Get out of here. I'm looking like 7-10-year cycles, baby. That's what I'm talking about. I'm like that is dead and gone. Dead. Gone. 4-year cycle. Done. And I'm willing to bet on that. So let's look at the total cryptocurrency market cap and just think to ourselves like, you know, we got all these companies that are literally going to use crypto, and they're valued each more than the entire space. Okay, so if every company that knows they are going to have to use crypto and are already invested in crypto and are partnered with all these different blockchains like Avalanche and Ethereum based ecosystem stuff, all the layer 2s, like all the different partnerships that things like Polygon has had, and we're going to get into Polymarket. I'm still on Bitcoin altcoin analysis and talking about crypto. So we're going to get there. We're getting to the Polymarket. Then we're going to, we always like talking about Sprotos and ticker Bitcoin. And then we're going to, still talk about how the 4-year cycle is freaking broken. So imagine this, we have all these different companies that are valued at 3 trillion, 2 trillion, 4 trillion. The real estate market is crashing and going to probably lose value. And also a lot of that money is going to end up going into risk on assets that have like more upside potential with less risk, because there's not as much upside potential in real estate right now, and there's way more risk and counterparty risk and a lot more factors that are driving prices and the fluctuations in the real estate market. I think a lot of that capital is going to be flowing into assets that now are going up. And a lot of these real estate investors are going to realize that, man, I've been eating it and biting it hard and losing money on having these properties. And once I do all the numbers, you end up not with that much money. And then you think, dang, I could have just bought Bitcoin and just like chilled and had less headache. That's a big wake-up call for a lot of different sectors, and also even just for us as crypto investors. When you go back and you think about what Charlie Lee said, and it's not all that he said, obviously. That was a big controversy. Everyone clipped him saying that he was like, I wish I would have just never done anything about Bitcoin. I've said that a million times. That's always kind of people's, thing in crypto is like, dang, I could have just done this. But we always come back to the fact that like we love crypto as a whole in all these different ecosystems, and having Ethereum. I love that there's Ethereum and Solana and TON and XRP and all that stuff. It gives us a chance to figure it out, and then the competition will reveal themselves, and that people will be revealed for if it's a shit coin chain and it's worthless, or if there is value in it, whether people rally behind it for a meme aspect of community, or they rally behind it because the tech is actually good and people are going to use it. And so this is all going to be proven by the market participants. So you don't have to be a Bitcoin maxi. You don't have to be, a Solana maxi. You can just be like, hey, where the hell is the money going? All right, cool. Let's go there. And so I think that ultimately, with these companies and all of this value, slivers, even just their financial advisors or their board or their financial boards of these companies are saying, all right, guys, we got to like get at least 3% of our treasury and exposure into crypto. And then boom, 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 boom. That's how we end up getting to these numbers where Bitcoin alone is at 15 trillion. We have the alt space, total 3 at 7 trillion. Okay. And then we have everything else under that, 4 trillion. Gaming, crypto gaming, meme coin communities, and prediction market. You think about all this is including the real world assets that are being tokenized, the stocks that are being tokenized that now can be traded 24/7, 365. All the tokenized. There's all the ETFs that the 401ks are getting exposed to with the old 401ks and old IRAs, and oh my gosh, this is why going into the macro will help you to just stop chopping around, not saying, oh, I need to swap this coin for this coin. It's like, no, if for me, like if I like XYO and I believed in XYO this long and I was willing to hold it through all the crap, then I can't hold it for the next year, 2 years to see where it could potentially go. What the hell am I doing? Now I am a gambler and an impatient goldfish, and I'm not an investor now, because all the investing and the people that have made true bloodline changing wealth, they bought dollar cost average, especially on the dips and the fear, and they for the most part held through the pain and were able to get to a point where it was like, yeah, now I'm gonna take some profits. But it's hard, it's hard. So all kinds of different strategies and ways you can do this. Some people make it very simple, and people like the Coinbase guy, where he bought Bitcoin on Coinbase for $20 a day for 6 years and just had a no negotiation strategy. And then he was like, okay, now I have $1 million, and it only cost him $80,000 over the past 6 years. We all could have been doing this. So we're going to give a shout out to the new subscribers. Thank you guys. Over the past 28 days, we've had, it's not too bad, not too bad. A little list of subscribers here. We got Leo. Shout out to Leo. Shout out to, these are all people that have subscribed in the late September. Amazing coins for you. Got the Ripple logo, Orthodox Meathead. Love it. Human. We got Hamid, Shubi doo bop bop. We got Guardians of Gaia. Nice. I love that. Guardians of Gaia. Poly Hardcore. Steven Stapleton. And let's see. We got Doug Cross. Charles VDL. We have Steve Moyer. Art Roberts. Dylan VA. Fabinho, Lole, I did butchered that. Chicarlos Cruz, let's go. All right, and somethingness N. Okay, thank you guys. Just wanted to give you a shout out, and make sure you're hitting that like button. The algorithm has been still doing some things, but whatever. Like I said, if there's 6 people or 600 people, I don't care. I don't care anymore. I really don't. If people want to come here and really interact and have some fun and discover this channel, they will discover this channel. And if there's 5 people here, you're absolute legends. You're going to be the richest out of all the people that are going to come in here late. Just know that. You're going to be the richest. You're going to have more money, and you're going to have more influence. People are going to listen to you finally. Maybe people never listened to you because they thought you were poor. And they're like, I'm going to listen to you. So just know that to be true if you're in here early on this live stream and early in crypto. All right, so let's get into... and you'll look like this. And if you don't look like this already, if you watch my channel, you're gonna look like that. You're gonna be like freaking. You walk in a room and people are just gonna immediately stop. Time stops. All right, so this is Shane Copeland. This is the CEO of Polymarket. So markets on everything. So which means betting on almost just about everything, turning everyone into gamblers. We're proud to announce that ICE, the owner of the New York Stock Exchange and the largest exchange company in the world, is making a strategic investment of $2 billion into Polymarket, valuing us at $9 billion post money. This is crazy. So, I mean, just think about this. And powered by Polymarket. So we're talking about ecosystems that we need to be looking at that could freaking explode. You remember Polygon Matic in the previous bull market in 2020, in 2021, it went up thousands of %. It was at like 0.00. It was like meme prices. And the thing went parabolic. Do you guys remember that? Like this was during like the Ivan, morning coffee show days. Look, come on, guys, go. We look at that Matic. We're gonna trade. So I remember those days, and that's what actually got me even into looking at Matic, and then eventually Polygon. And I bought my first NFT using Polygon. It was actually my first, layer. Kind of like a type of layer, a layer 1, but also kind of like a layer 1, layer 2. It's kind of like a hybrid. Like Polygon's kind of interesting. It's it's almost like a hybrid. It uses Polygon for the gas, and now it uses Pol for the gas. It's had the that ecosystem migration, but it's, a lot of DeFi action and a lot of stuff happens on Polygon. And so this is really interesting. So our partnership with ICE marks a major step in bringing prediction markets into the financial mainstream. But in addition to that, it's a monumental step forward for DeFi. ICE is the one remaining founder-led exchange company, and Jeff is all in on utilizing his assets, including the New York Stock Exchange, to usher in the new financial era of tokenization. Guess what? New York Stock Exchange on chain. This is what's going to happen. Eventually, the whole way that the stock exchange operates is going to be cryptofied. And so financial era of tokenization, we're humbled to be working together in this endeavor. ICE will also begin distributing Polymarket data to thousands of financial institutions around the world. There is so much to build and so this is what's interesting, is that the Polymarket data and the financial, so it's really interesting about how political spheres and the betting on these different elections and different positions will dictate how businesses and how the overall sentiment of the entire ecosystem is going to look, and how people can then plan, because it says this person is going to win by 80% and the market is dictating this. Do you see how this is going to ultimately influence how markets are going to move because of the nature of being able to predict on all of this stuff? So it's just and then that's where the crystal ball aspect comes in, and it becomes then almost like self-fulfilling prophecies for these things to happen. It's freaking crazy. Polymarket data to thousands of financial institutions around the world. This is so much to build when you combine the force of ICE's institutional scale and credibility with Polymarket's consumer cultural savvy distribution. The past 2 years have been surreal, going from write-off to creating a category, watching our vision become reality. And the Polymarket origin story is funny because it's a rare case of the dream being identical to how things played out. If I learned one thing, it is that bold ideas are everywhere, hidden in plain sight. It just takes someone crazy enough. We've always said this. You have to be crazy sometimes to push through these things, to be able to innovate, to then have someone invest $2 billion in your idea. You have to be crazy. You have to be willing to have people laugh and spit in your freaking face, and you keep going. And so it just takes someone crazy enough to spend their life willing it into existence. You hear that? Willing it into existence. And also by the will of God. That's the key. By the will of God. And you acknowledging even God's existence to begin with in your life is where this probably actually, that's where true energy and flow and abundance probably starts to come in your life. And so that's entrepreneurship, willing things into existence. But we also have to make sure we caveat that with by the will of God. I remember reading Robin Hanson's literature and prediction markets and thinking, man, this is too good of an idea to just exist in white papers. There are a million reasons why it shouldn't work, countless arguments of why not to do it, and the odds were against us, but we had to try. So at the onset of the pandemic, I quite literally had nothing to lose. 21 running out of money in 2.5 years since I dropped out, and nothing to show for it. But I knew we were entering an era where ways to find, and this is just showing you just don't quit. We don't quit, we persist. And that's exactly what Richard Hart just talked about in a post that he just did the other day. He was like, we don't quit, we persist. And that's crypto. So still a work in progress, but we're honored to have made the impact we have thus far. And so this is pretty cool. This is cool. So this is huge. So this is huge, guys. So basically, I wanted to ask Grok how it thinks it's going to be, how Polymarket shaped the reality. So shaping reality from forecast to force is Polymarket isn't just predicting, it's warping how we perceive and create events. Blurring bets and truth in a feedback loop that could redefine society. This is what is, I'm telling you guys, this is what's so crazy. Media perception shift, okay? Mainstream media uses this tactic because they use it as a spell. It's usually almost more borderline dark magic than it is anything that is good, because it skews perceptual reality of certain set events, which can then, it basically creates the narrative. So Media and perception shift. It's supplanted polls as the truth machine quoted on CNN and Bloomberg with Trump's team using it for intel. This and the CIA, and guess what? The CIA, FBI, they're using this as intel. This gamifies news. Odds become headlines, influencing voter turnout for narratives. Early Trump favoritism might have boosted morale. By 2028, firms like Goldman and Fundstrat predict it'll balloon 20x. Pricing everything from shutdowns to AI breakthroughs, eroding trust in experts because we're dictating it. The market's dictating it. Influence and manipulation risks, whales, and this is what's so funny is that Elon, for guess what he was saying? We're the media now. Why do you think he was saying that? We're the media now. We're the news now. We don't trust you. You've been lying this entire time, and we don't believe you anymore. Same with the Fed. Same with the financial institutions. Same with the book, the ledger of the United States. We don't buy it. We don't buy the numbers. It's all BS. Why do you think risk on is on now? And it always goes risk on when we get led to believe that we should trust in the damn system. It goes up. After all the stupid FUD, it always just goes up because we know that the fiat system is BS. They print the money and they have to put it in something to, quote, make it go up again and turn that money into other more money and just keep printing it. It's just infinite money. But how are we actually solving this? Well, people think that gold is a great store value. It has been, but you can't trunk gold around and put it on your back and wheel it around in a wheelbarrow like your big balls. No, you're going to probably store it on a digital blockchain because we're in 2025 and you're going to be living on this planet, hopefully, for a very long time. And by that time, you'll be stargating yourself through a damn wormhole to another planet. You gonna carry your gold through that wormhole? No, you're probably gonna carry your freaking digital eye scan crypto money. So, broader reality warp for you. It commodifies truth, bets on wars, celebs, tech launches turn life into tradable profitabilities and probabilities, fostering a stock market mindset where we speculate rather than shape events. This could democratize forecasting, policy desks using it for shutdown odds, but risks a dystopia. Manipulation amplifies, disputed outcomes gamed for profit, eroding civic engagement as it integrates with TradFi as the big New York Stock Exchange investment of the $2 billion. Prediction markets might evolve into a core asset class where collective bets make reality and shape reality, odds influencing policy or markets. But I think this is interesting because I do kind of feel this because it could be a double-edged sword. I know, that's why I said it. That's why I said it. Stan. Ultimately, Polymarket exposes polls' flaws while risking a world where moneyed consent. Because the polls are usually partisan and they're very biased by whoever's issuing the poll. So most of the time, if it's like primarily funded by Republican poll, it'll be probably skewed more to a Republican favor. If it's a Democrat ran poll, they're going to skew and make the Republicans look bad in favor of the Democrats. Most of the polls are kind of BS. We saw that going into this particular election where they were like, these polls are 100% biased and they don't make sense. But it's a tool for truth in an info-saturated age, but if unchecked, it could turn reality into a casino run by whales. By 2028, expect it to not just predict elections, but potentially tilt them. Whoa. Yeah, I love it. So look at this. Oh my gosh, and I don't know if this is true. I would like to, this person, I don't know if this is true or not, but well, they have 89,000 followers. Look, I would like to officially announce I will not be partnering with Kalshi. I love prediction markets, but on principle, I would never support this. They're playing dirty. Apparently, I don't know if this is true or not. Hey, I'm literally clicking on things on X, so this is entertainment purposes only. Don't quote me as an official source. Kalshi paid influencers to target Polymarket CEO after FBI raid. So Kalshi funded influencers to imply its competitor Polymarket and CEO Shane Copeland were engaged in illegal activity after the FBI raided his apartment per sources and screenshots review. Dang. Pretty crazy. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Yeah, a year ago, the FBI was breaking down his door, and then a year later, now Polymarket is nearing a $2 billion deal from the. So there's something, but it's really interesting, man. You think about all the way that how we just broke down the way that, you know, the CIA, the FBI, how these prediction markets, how they're using it as intel, and how people can vote on things. It's almost like it's a matrix built thing. You think about the coders and the people that are in the matrix that are building programs to shape reality. This is a total matrix play. I says, whoa. Holy crap, guys. This thing probably goes a lot deeper than we realize. This thing probably goes way deep. Like, woo, like rabbit hole down the rabbit hole kind of stuff here. Yeah. I think I got my brain linked into woo. I had a lot of protein. I got creatine, electrolytes. I ate steak and eggs this morning. My brain's starting to operate. I think it's starting to operate at more percentages. We've always been good at linking, doing the whiteboard pin threading to one event to the next and why it all kind of makes sense. Aquariuses are usually good at that, but whoa. This is pretty crazy. So now that we were talking about Polygon, let's see how Pol is looking right now as an altcoin. Like it's about to freaking go. We're already at a pretty decent, this is support, but we don't know where to find it. Here's support here. If we trade back up here, then this is that support right there at that 236. Boom. Remember, that was the Trump dump. And so if we're going to look at what BNB just did, remember BNB just went to the 1618 and then it went to the 2618. I would bet this is going to be a really, really good long play over the next few years of investing in Polygon to the nature of everything that we were just talking about. That's a 366% move to the upside. A lot of alts that we've been talking about don't even have this move going back up to their all-time highs from the Trump dump, okay? Which is pulling the fib from here to the lows, and you're going to get your 1618 as your ultimate target for your long-term price out. How long will it take to get there? I don't know. I think that we have a good chance of Q1 being one of the biggest, runnings, craziest 3 months of Q1 in 2026, and we're gonna have some volatility, and I think that's probably gonna. That's my guess as we get around in there. That's my best guess. Ethereum is just ready to pop. I think it's ready to pop to this level. This $5,700 level is where I'm calling for the next target for ETH. And we are getting a consolidation. There's liquidity sitting right at this bottom here. I don't see us getting below 4,100, and because there is ETFs inflows. There's not a lot of selling pressure, you know? So I don't see how, like, if we just start going to zero and there's no inflows at all, like, yeah, I'd see how, and then they're just selling off. That's how I could see that going down, but I don't see that happening. I see, if anything, you know, it has been bing bonging around. It's doing one of these things, and we'll probably have to figure out somewhere where we're gonna bottom out. Maybe 4,100. That would be a nice long opportunity, because then once we find a good supported bottom here, then we're gonna go to the next level. So just watch for these levels. Watch for that low. Watch for this price surge here. We got that 4,100. Pretty nice support level here in these areas for ETH. We did complete a big, kind of like an inverse head and shoulders here. That brought us up back to these levels. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. Overall it's looking good, but Bitcoin is taking a nice little consolidation off this high. And if anything, we might get liquidity pulled back into this area, which is 119, 120, which would be no big deal. If anything, we come back, we could test on that. We do a nice back test, nothing crazy, but that would give us a nice springboard to get to that next all-time high, which would be 126,000, 130 between those levels. And yeah, if gold, this is the thing, like, if gold is stealing the show right now for sure, because it's a world, currencies are going into this right now, because currencies around the world are being debased because of the fact of the connection of the US dollar. The US dollar is not doing well. So, and these currencies are backed by holding US debt and treasuries and all that stuff. And I don't understand it fully, but maybe just the best way to understand it is say, okay, these central banks print the money just like we do, and their currency isn't as strong as ours. And if they're printing money, well, then theirs is really shitty. So then they're going to probably invest more into gold, try and hold gold to make sure, they can survive. But then ultimately, because of the nature of, say, the revolution that we're in, and TradFi going into DeFi, all this money will eventually get siphoned into crypto. It's just my best guess. And then we have, okay, so we didn't talk about it just yet, but yeah, we have Binance flips XRP following a record-breaking price surge, because we have this BNB back, basically just back in BNB season, very similar to how we pumped up in the previous bull market in 2021. In January, February, March, April was a lead up, in 2021 to these crazy, DeFi numbers, people farming, using Pancake Swap. Like Andrew Tate's, claim to crypto fame was that he made $30 million on Cake. Pretty crazy. So, oh, we're looking at the wrong thing. Let's see right here. There we go. There it is. There's the chart. Yeah, I was like, am I looking at BNB? No, I'm on Monero. There's the chart. Yeah, so in January 2021, right here, you can see the price was at $41. And then we had this DeFi summer. BNB season. And we just started to crush. And yeah, we did. And we did have, yeah, we were calling it DeFi summer. And so just look at this. It's just wild. So I know this is going to eventually cool off a little bit, and we're going to see some rotations. Where is that going to go? I think our best guesses would be that Solana will get back in, the trenchers will kind of get back in. Solana will start to see, because of the nature of the ETF. I think Dogecoin is just naturally getting a lot of trading volume. I think Ton, like I said, is going to get some market share, and then Polygon. I think those are my like top picks right now, where I think this is going to be some major money coming into these ecosystems. Arbitrum is one of the networks that is used on most of these dexes and decentralized perp dexes as a rail. And so Arbitrum, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain is obviously being used. Ethereum, Mantle, yeah. So these are all things that we could pay attention to as the token itself, because these are what people are ramping on and bridging into to then be able to use decentralized finance. So then does that grow the value of the token? Well, I mean, what if we look at DeFi Llama and we see kind of like where those volumes are coming in, and then we look at the tokens. I mean, it's kind of that's what's happened. So that's kind of how we can, navigate how we want to operate our portfolio, where we want to maybe park our money, and see where that liquidity is coming. All right, fear and greed index is at 62 right now, so we're actually in greed. Anytime we've gotten up into these levels, we have had a nice little spike down. This portion of the market, but we have once we have consolidated from this point, though, in certain points of the chart, especially in 2023 and 2024, we'd hit some greed in the 62, 65 area, and then we'd have a little consolidation, and then go into extreme greed after the consolidation. So once we get into greed, we do a little pullback, and then hopefully this one, we've already been in here. So hopefully this one is a little shorter, kind of like here, and we end up going back into extreme greed. And then that's when, we're kind of like, we're really risk on, and people are, popping champagne bottles and really getting excited. I still think there's so much more room to get excited, especially like this. You read things like over 61% of BTC hasn't moved in a year. What does it mean for the Bitcoin price? Where more than half of Bitcoin's circulating supply has not moved in 12 months, a structural feature that will shape how the market absorbs demand into the year end. So per BitBo, roughly 61% of coins have been dormant for over a year, with the deepest cohort even over 10 years at roughly 17% of the supply. So the latest HODL waves split shows 7 to 10 years near 8% and 5 to 7 years near 5%. So, yo, let's go. Like 13 is Dave Digital. Dave Digital. Let's go. Hope you're doing well. No thanks. But yeah, this is really interesting. So these bands measure supply by last on-chain movements, not a change in the total supply, and are sensitive to binding and exchanges tagging choices across providers. So yeah, short age supply remains meaningful. The combination of the 1 to 3 months and okay, so see, tracking the 90-day moving average alongside price helps identify revival spikes from long-held coins versus quiet accumulation periods where coin age continues to build. The median path implies a lower policy rate next year. So with the inflation side, U.S. consumer prices rose 2.9%. And so the supply-demand math can be framed with simple scenarios that map fund lows against available float from short age bands using the same price anchor. And so, so if 30% of supply sits in these bands, a 5% monthly rotation would release about roughly 295,500 BTC over a month, which averages near 73,000 BTC per week. Interesting. And this is, so yeah, exchange balances remain a watched metric in this context because the exchanges have been going down in their supply, and this ties in with the Bitcoin just not moving. But then also when it has been moving, it's been moving off of the exchanges, not necessarily being like put onto the exchanges in mass. It's actually just kind of been going down, and they're trying to hold it because some of these whales too realize that when you have Bitcoin on exchanges, you know, especially during these times where it gets really bullish, it's very risky. So you kind of want to just hold it, and you want to just kind of like have it. And then the only reason why you're having portions of supplies of Bitcoin being sent on these exchanges at all different points, like where it starts to get like toppy, is that it's just basically it's like a natural hedge that happens. Because you get those wallets that wake up, and then that's what was happening, you know, months and months back, where we had these wallets, you know, kind of coming alive, where they've been like dormant for, you know, 12 years. And then when we started to get towards these prices, started to move around. Were they selling? Maybe they sold a little bit, but mostly they were just kind of moving stuff around, you know, scaring the crap out of people. Some people thought it was Richard Hart. Some of the really early miners and adopters of Bitcoin. Yeah, we think it's, you know, it's interesting. But yep, so that's kind of what's happening, you know, in terms of kind of the macro and the setup here for going into the end of the year. We got a lot of bullish, you know, things to be happy about. And you know, not only did the president mint his own meme coin on the Solana blockchain, that the Treasury plans to mint $1 coins with Trump on both sides. And so it's going to actually say fight, fight, fight on the side. And then it's going to have these coins. So I couldn't, that was ridiculous. That was too funny. That was, I couldn't resist on that one. That one was pretty ridiculous. So while a final dollar coin design has not yet been selected to commemorate the United States, this first draft reflects well the enduring spirit of the country. But yeah, this would be pretty stop it. But of course, you know, the news yeah, release the Epstein files. Dang it. All right. All right, we're checking in on you guys. How you doing? Hope you're doing all right. We got 15 likes in the house. Let's go. Scuba Gerbil says, I didn't make any money off Pancake Swap, but I had a dream last night. I was helping someone make a chocolate cake last night. It was Stop it. Dude, are you dead ass? Scuba Gerbil, you're freaking me out. I'll be right back. Bro, I made a freaking chocolate cake. I made a damn chocolate cake last night. What the hell are you the hell are you talking about? Scuba Gerbil. Whoa. No. It's gluten-free. I got the cake. What's that cake brand? It's a really good one. It's the one that it's King Arthur. Yeah, the King Arthur brand, gluten-free. I think it's like rice flour. But I've always actually really liked the texture of that chocolate cake. And then I got an organic vanilla frosting. And I layered it like that too. I made like, I stacked it, you know. I actually made it pretty nice. Cake. It was a nice cake. Tastes really good too. I bet you taste that through the screen. Maybe like Neo. Oh, are our trades getting smashed? Okay, no, Apex is getting back in the game. Okay, we're good. Yo, that's wild, guys. What the heck? Whoa. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, we're all connected, by the way, guys. You know this, right? That's why, you know, Jesus was so rebuked by the system. And what he was saying was so radical because the whole reality was set up that you had to go through these third-party things. It was like, no, you are going to go through this institution before you can get the connection to the divine. But you're going to get charged first. And also, by the way, we're not going to give you all the information. We're just going to give you a little piece so then we can keep you like in your box, keep you in your, you know, in your box, in your square box. And that's why when Jesus came and he was different than everyone else that was a prophet or who was whatever. And you know, there were, you know, prophets all throughout history that spoke of similar things, but I realized over studying this and watching a lot of videos and really like feeling this, that like they were all pointing to the ultimate one that was coming, which was Jesus. And that's what all the stories, all the accounts, the prophecies that were told by in the book of Daniel and all the Hebrew texts and all this stuff about how, you know, they were all prophesying of the ultimate one who was Jesus, who was going to literally be God coming incarnate, the Son of God. And that's why Jesus is so different, because he wasn't just mere like a man. He was the Son. He was God. It's pretty crazy. And so this is why it was so traumatic and such a crack in the reality, was that he was the first one to say, but it was only through me. And that pissed people off. He's like, well, so then are you claiming you are God yourself? And then he was like kind of saying it, but he was like, I can't really like tell you that. I just have to prove it to you. And he proved it by literally sacrificing his life for our sins so we could have eternal life through him, who is God. Woo! I was like, holy crap. Mind F. Mind F. Holy crap. That's why when you start to really go down that rabbit hole, it's like, whoa, that's why Jesus is the truth, the way, the truth, and the light. No one goes to the Father except through me. And I was like, okay, I got it now. I got it now. Whoa. Pretty wild. Jake, when alt season start, it already has started. It's called accumulation. We're in just small phases. We're in small phases, but whoa, guys, have you had that realization yet about Jesus and why he's so important? Why there's such a spiritual warfare going on? Why there's attacks but also there is this big resurgence and people being interested in Christianity and learning about Jesus and starting to read the Bible and stuff like that. Why do you think this is happening? It's not a coincidence. People are asking, like, when is Jesus coming back? Well, he's already back. He's back in the hearts of all of us. And it's up to us to listen. And if we don't follow Jesus, then we'll just think that he's like, oh, he's just going to come back someday. What the hell? No, he's already here. Jesus is already here. He's already here, my friends. And it's up to you to be the person that's going to work for him And that's working for God. And I'm realizing that now. And it's like, it's not easy. Like, it's not easy. It's hard. It is not easy at all. If it was easy, then it would be a world like healing revolution if it was just but it is a tough road. But what makes it easier is that Jesus experienced more pain, more turmoil, and more suffering than we will ever experience. And so in that, you could be rest assured that no matter the suffering that you experience in this life, it never would amount to what Jesus probably suffered on the cross. And that's what's like, that gives you hope and faith that someone was willing to do that. It's pretty wild. What am I doing? I just started getting all evangelistic again. Damn it. Jesus? Okay. When's alt season? It's right now, my friends. Can you chart Crow? Yes, let's chart Crow. Maybe God has brought me to this live stream so then I can talk about crypto, help you guys get rich, and then also lead you to Jesus Christ. I don't know what's going on, but maybe that could be a thing. Because Jason Casper does a really, really good job of that too. He's not afraid to talk about his faith. He's not afraid to talk about those things. Hit that like button, smash up that like button. Crow is getting a back test, a really nice back test, because Crow hit a mega pump. You know, we had that really nice pump. I know, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Yeah, I'm sorry. My tongue slipped. No, I'm glad that Jesus is actually, jokes aside, I can have jokes, but no, jokes aside, Jesus is legitimately, I think, working through me and helping me. And the more that I keep trying to get closer to Jesus, it really truly is helping me in more ways than I can ever imagine. And I just want to keep listening and trying to pay attention. Yeah. It's just like that. I don't know what else to do. So yeah, Crow is getting a really nice back test. I think Crow, if we're gonna see any bounce, we could bounce on that 618. We tried, but we're getting a consolidation down on the daily here. This was really great support down here. So Crow by end of the month, I'm not really focused too much on the month. Like I'm more focused on the weekly. Like we need to look at the weekly chart is gonna show you, and also the monthly. Look at the monthly. I think by the end of the year, we're gonna be back at all-time highs. We're sitting at really, really key support from the last bull market, and we've been trading up in this channel. I don't see it going all the way back down to 13 cents. But if it did, though, I mean, you bet your butt we'd be loading up, because I think the next level would be just for it to crush all-time highs. And there's a massive investment in Crow with the Trump family, Trump media. The crypto.com app has all the things that we've talked about in terms of the prediction markets and just being a super app. Link in the description, by the way. If you haven't signed up for crypto.com yet, you can, you actually get more bonus with my link too, because I am like a VIP level 4 or something. So you actually get more bonus. You'll get more Bitcoin and Crow by making deposits with my link. So Crow is like a very long-term hold for me. Crow, XYO, things like that are very much more long-term hold. Ticker Bitcoin still a long-term hold for me. Like a lot of these things, I'm just like, I've kind of picked and have chosen to you know, go through the volatility. I didn't sell a single coin on that pump that we had. And I literally can't anyway until like towards like January. So that forces me to hold it until next year. And then hopefully at that point, it's going to be at all-time highs. So that's what I think of Crow. All right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed the Jesus talks. My doppelganger is playing COD SoCal Love. Call of Duty. Who? Show me. Show me. That's not my doppelganger. I'll look that ripped soon. I gotta actually work out. I have to actually work out. I kind of just naturally have a fit look, and I kind of am pretty trim, but like if I just worked out more and actually lifted heavy and continue to eat more protein, I would be super soldier, you know, buff Wojak, buff Doge Dano. Is it SoCal Love? Is that the channel? SoCal Love is on, what is it, like Twitch or YouTube? What is it?
Ground, moving. Thanks.
Oh shit, I think she's AFK.
No, I'm here.
A little bit.
Nice,
A little bit.
Nice.
Not that guy in that window.
Hold on.
Good job, JD.
So,
Reloading.
Keep on fucking them up.
Yeah.
fucking minute.
A little bit, yeah. Oh god, yeah. So we talked about this before, guys. Do we need to set up some kind? Like I used to do this. Like I want to bring back some nostalgia and get some massive dopamine hits, and I want to do a LAN party with you guys. No, he totally does. Yeah, he's got a different nose, different kind of fit, but yeah, definitely same hairline. Shit, definitely the same hairline. Woo. Yeah. 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 Pretty crazy. I'll have to subscribe. SoCal Love, 51,000 subscribers. All right, let's go. Let's go. I know. Well, no, but I want to play Halo Infinite. I was thinking about it. I was like, what would be the easiest thing for people to get into, and that we could easily get into a room together, do a quick match or whatever, and it would be Halo Infinite because it's free. You just have to have like the Xbox Game Pass, and that would be a lot of fun. And then also I thought about doing it with Diablo 2. So I think with Diablo 2 Resurrection, that would be a lot of fun to do. And I think we should set that up as well. So pretty soon we're going to be setting up these game nights, and we're going to do it maybe like once a week. We're going to pick a game, and we're all just going to get in the Discord. We can talk TeamSpeak style on Discord, and it'll be fun. And it's actually really like Halo Infinite is a lot of fun multiplayer. It's like it's the the mechanics and everything. It still feels good on the keyboard and the mouse, like when you're playing it on the PC. I used to play Halo Custom Edition back in the day, which was basically Halo 1 multiplayer, which Halo 1 on the PC was the only one that had multiplayer. But if you downloaded Custom Edition, you had a whole community of sandbox versions of different maps and custom built community maps that were sometimes better than the original map. Like the Zanzibar Custom Edition for Halo 1 multiplayer was so much fun. And so if you're like a super nerd like I am, you'll probably remember this. And this was like peak multiplayer PC gaming was during those times between like, you know, 2000 between like, you know, 2000 and 2008 was like just magical times. But I want to bring that back. So let's get a Halo Infinite game set up and also a Diablo 2 Resurrection game set up where we just freaking speed run through hell. And we'll fight cows and Tristan. And we'll fight demonic cows and Tristan. Ooh. I told you guys the other day, I played a game of Halo Infinite and I hadn't been in there in like almost a year, probably even longer, and I did so well. I got like, my score was like 15. I didn't die that many times, and I held the team up and we won. I was like, okay, let's go. But no, it's on computer. It's on computer. You can play it on, I think, but I don't know. Is Halo Infinite, can you play that on other systems as well? Like I was just playing it on the computer, so that would just be the easiest for us to be able to be on the Discord and have some fun doing that. Put some W's in the chat if you'd like to participate in that. And remember the Discord, if you guys want to get in the Discord and you can get access to the Discord, easy verification, just come in and you just got to at least sign up and show me that you signed up with one of my links in the description. Because we don't have any paid groups. We don't have anything like that. But then we just ask, hey, if you're going to like put some trades in, or you're going to, you know, add any volume to the market. I mean, you're already adding volume to the market anyway. So why not just add it on my links? And it just makes me look better, you know, just makes my metrics look better. Let's be honest. But the fact that we don't charge for anything, we don't have any like, you know, trading groups or anything like that. It's the easiest and best way you can support me. We don't even have any donation links up. I mean, jeez, we're probably doing it so wrong, but we believe that we will be rewarded massively over the next few years by just being patient, not trying to siphon out people, and not trying to like, quote, make money from my community and the people that watch this channel. It's just like, that's not really like the point. I'm not trying to make money off of you guys. Like, I think there's way better ways. And I think we can figure that out together. Don't you say? All right, so I got one W in the chat. All right, okay, so I guess the people that were just watching, you are not a gamer, and you were like, absolutely not. I will not partake in this. But let me get you the Discord link. Let me get you the Discord link real quick, and we'll get you in the Discord, and then we're going to have a section in there. We're going to create a new room that is dedicated to, it's going to be called the Dojo Crew LAN Party. Dojo Crew LAN Party. Okay? Get ready. Dojo Crew LAN Party. Anyone who's watching on X, can you jump over real quick and just like make YouTube look good and pop over and hit the like button? If you're watching on X right now, I get pretty good metrics on X. I don't care anymore. They're not going to pay me. They'll pay me like $5, but I need the metrics on YouTube, so. Dude, exactly. Yeah, I like that video too. I love seeing that. I remember seeing that a couple years ago, actually. And it was really, really cool to see that video come up and just be like, man, that's super, super cool. That means like you have to grind, you have to be dedicated. And then I mean, the dude, it took, 10 years, but are you willing to grind for 10 years to then be a billionaire? Most people aren't. Most people aren't willing to even grind for a year. Most people aren't willing to even grind for a year. Like I'm stubborn enough to that I will grind on this. I don't care how long it takes. I don't. And that's going to be my edge. That's going to be your edge. You don't quit, you persist. That's going to be your freaking edge, my friends. We don't quit, we freaking persist. All right? We persist, all right? Discord. Get in the Discord. Get in the Discord. And we are going to also look, we got K-Pack in here, we got free in here, we got lasers. You can post your best trade screenshots. Look, K-Pack's already, look, see, K-Pack knows how to be in a Discord. Hey, and if you want to help make K-Pack some money as being one of the new members of the Dojo crew, look, she's got a referral code. You know, you can use her referral code, help everyone out. Oh, it just happened on the 4th, brand new. Oh, it's another one. Well, no, I remember seeing one from, where was it? I've seen a similar video. But I know what you're talking about. Wait a second. Yeah, because we had it on it came up on our feed. Oh, this was the one, the 5-year one. That's the one I saw. Yeah, I was like, I've seen this before, but no, this was the 5-year one. So hi, me in 5 years. And then 3-day, holy crap, I'll probably be so different when this goes public. I'll be done with high school. Oh my gosh. Dang, 3-day, yeah, hi, me in 10 years. Wow. Holy moly. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. I was like, I remember seeing one that was, yeah, it was him saying, but I didn't realize it was that long ago. Whoa. Yep, you gotta keep grinding. You gotta grind. You have to grind. Look, trade intuition. Look, grinding.
Down.
Grinding. We don't quit. We persist. I wonder if isn't there a way that we can combine our live streams? That would be cool. I know there's a way that we can do it. I don't remember exactly how to do it. Just be like, just join up. Is there a Polymarket for is the ticker Bitcoin? Is the ticker Bitcoin, yes or no? And then, so we'll have to bet on that. It's 100% odds that the ticker is Bitcoin. It always has and will always be Bitcoin. Will and always will be Bitcoin. Oh man, this like, it's just ready to pop, guys. This thing's ready to pop. People are buying too. People are buying. They're buying. They're loading up. These whales are loading up on the ticker. They can't be stopped. Look at this address. This is probably a bot, but I don't care. Nope, this is that address that was well, yeah, look, Wojak. Ooh, that's a new one. A hunter's dream. What is this? Caw? Have you guys seen this? There's 26,000 holders. Tokens. A hunter's dream. Caw. Have you guys seen this? See, this is why you got to check whale wallets, because they hold stuff that will. I mean, oh, and look. Oh, look. This is on Pulse Chain. Stop it. A hunter's dream is wrap. It's got a wrap PLS. This was made 2 years ago, 2 years, 4 months ago. Get the freak out of town. And then this pair was created 3 years, 5 months ago. What? What the heck is this? What is this? Cause a decentralized social clearinghouse which originated from the SHIB deployer. The concept of decentralization has been lost to some of us over time, those who forgot why Bitcoin was created. The issues blockchain and cryptocurrency has been to solve. To be decentralized means there is no single person, entity, nor group which has ultimate control. Freedom given to the people to discover cause meaning amongst themselves. Cause by design without design, and is up to the CAW community to shape CAW. What the heck? Have you guys seen this before? Oh man, yeah, they added Jasmine Coin, Bonk, Turbo. Oh man, they added a bunch on this address too. We were tracking that address. They added a bunch on that. Interesting. Yeah, guys, it's getting pretty wild. The memes are going to really do well. God, C cash up 188%. Cry, man. Criminy. Oh, just as a reminder, guys, the season 1 of the Apex airdrop is live. It's live. So if you want to take part in the airdrop, then you have to sign up with my link, and you'll be getting extra points by signing up with the link. So it's right there. We've partnered up with Apex. Oh, just as a reminder, guys, and we actually really like the platform. We've been really digging the platform. You know, obviously, you know, we like it more when our trades are doing better. But yeah, it's actually really cool. We're going to be setting up a vault here soon, which is basically a trading vault that we can all trade in, and we get benefits for trading inside the vault. And it's almost kind of like a copy trading. It's almost like a copy trading thing. So I'm very interested to see how we can go into the rest of this year with one of these vaults as the dojo crew, and then we can all earn extra points by trading in the vault, and then we get a massive airdrop. Because I want to make you guys money. I don't want you to get wrecked. I want you to make money. So if there's an opportunity for us to make money, we're going to do it. So sign up with that link, check it out. You'll be right up into season 1. And if it frustrates you that I'm promoting this stuff, or I'm asking you guys, or just letting you know about the links, then you absolutely do not know about marketing. You don't know about sales. You don't know about how to about businesses. And every single person in the entire world is selling something. You're selling your time. You're selling your skills, your efforts, all that stuff. And it's just the nature of things. So I really hope it doesn't bother you guys that even just for a second, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, I do have these links. Because it's just kind of how it is, you know. You watch any big YouTuber, and right in the middle of their expose that they're breaking down, they go, this video is sponsored by BetterHelp, you know, so. We are not sponsored by BetterHelp. We should be. We should have a something where you can talk to a licensed specialist for your mental illness and crypto. We might need to be sponsored by BetterHealth. We've all gone insane. We have all gone insane. But all right, anything else? Questions, concerns, answers, debates? What you guys got on the docket? Because I'm in this thing. What's good? What do you got for me? What do you got for me? Give me the juice. Okay, so Dave Digital dropping some truth. Give it to me, Dave. Look, I can take it. He says, I think we all know that it's normal. Unfortunately, I feel like you are uncomfortable with it. Links are part of the game. Yeah. I mean, if that's your perception, I might be uncomfortable with it, then maybe I need to get better at it. I sometimes forget to mention, I don't even mention it through the entire live stream, and then I'll go, oh yeah, by the way, guys, we do have these links, check it out. But there's probably just a better way to do it. Maybe we can have a conference call, Dave. You can tell me how I can get better. I'm not lying, Dave. And Dave, you need to get on the channel too. And we need to do some collaborations. We've talked about it. I was supposed to go on, what was it? Billy Goat Tales, Giver's Gain. But I think that it kind of hit the wall. So maybe we can set that up. Nice. The Bitcoin memes are unstoppable. Mike Sproto said, you must assert your referral links. You must assert your ref links, not ask nicely to check out. No, I know. I got to be as aggressive. I tell you who the master of getting the referral links. Sunday live stream? I think I could do that. Well, what time do you guys do Sunday? We'll talk about that. But yeah, no, the person that I think mastered the sign up link was Carl from the Moon. Carl from the Moon, back in the day for Binance and Bybit, he has the record of the most signups. Where do you think all his money came from? It was from trading, but it was from networking with these massive whales and millionaires and getting them to trade on his links. And Binance and Bybit paid him an insane amount of commission, 70%, the highest anyone ever got. And all it took for him to just, So it's pretty wild. Huh. At 4 Tuesday on X. Oh, is it like a Spaces or something? Yeah, you just have to let me know. Let me know, Dave. I mean, honestly, I'm up to collab with almost pretty much anyone. We just haven't been grinding on the collaborations. We've been trying to focus on our live stream ourselves, and then we're trying to focus on having a good family life structure. I do want to make sure I'm being attentive to my family, making money in places, pulling in contracts, pulling in all as much stuff as I can. And then when I go back and I think about it, I'm like, man, I really want to have more people on the channel. I want to have like at least a guest a week. I'd love to go on other channels. Yeah, just gotta be more organized with this stuff. But we got a lot of things cooking. It's at least that's my excuse, is that I'm blessed that I have a lot of things cooking. and I have work. You know, it's not. I'm not in. I'm definitely in abundance of those things. So that's great. $7 p.m. Eastern, Sundays live stream on YouTube. Okay, Sundays the live stream. Okay, yeah. I would like spaces are cool. Spaces are fine, but I much rather would just like go on a show. I just want to go and just kind of shoot the shit, and you know, we can all talk about the markets and act like we're all experts. You know, that's what we're all best at doing. K-Pack is growing the Insta. What's your Instagram? You can shill it on here. K-Pack, you're allowed 100% to shill whatever you want to shill on this channel or in the Discord. I shilled your referral link just a little bit ago, right here. You guys, QR code this. Get that girl some money. What is this on? Oh, on Blowfin. Nice. I can't. Mike Sproda said, need a late night talk show to replace Colbert. Well, we're doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So that is going to be my like late night show. We do cover some news. We cover most of the relevant stuff that's happened. We do a bit of a recap on things. And we've been doing that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Dave, are you saying me as in like what channels or people I want to have on? I don't know what you're referencing. I am picky with certain things, yes. Dave's got me in court right now. I'm like fighting for my life over here, Dave. Yeah. Key Catalyst coming up. Really, really good movements. Yep. Key Catalyst. Why now is your entry window? We got an institutional tsunami, macro tailwinds with Fed's cutting the rates, regulatory rockets with the ETFs. Got on-chain alpha, about 9.7 trillion August volume. Pretty crazy. A lot of buzz. A lot of buzz. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Oh, that's what you're talking. You're like, no, I don't want to go in the X space. I know. Well, aren't you picky? Well, you don't have a choice. I know. I am being a little picky. I can hop on there, embarrass myself a little bit for a couple minutes, you know, and I'm really good at doing that. No. Dave, do I need the mic? I don't need the mic. Dave, I don't need the mic. Get the mic plenty. I don't need the mic, Dave. But we're just joking. We're just kidding. We're just having some fun. Yeah, X Spaces would be cool. I'll just whenever. Yeah, send me the link when it's about to happen. Send me the link and I'll just hop on and that would be cool. I haven't hopped on an X Space actually in a while. Like I was popping in here and there. More just been focusing on the live streams. Who was the last person we had on? We had Julie. We actually had Julie Kennis on. Julie Kennis, that was really cool. She's a trooper. And we love always when she's popping in the live streams, and also whenever we went on hers and when we had her, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. All right, guys. I think that's about it. I think that's all we're going to cover. Do you know how to add RPC for X1? Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I noticed that whenever I was listening to you guys, and it's tough sometimes because I know there's so many good content creators out there. There's so many, you know, different communities, and people have their niches of what they like to watch, and you get so kind of caught up in your own like grind and doing your thing, and you just like sometimes you feel like, oh, if I don't like, you know, if I start doing this or spread myself too thin, then you might not like get your other stuff that you want to get done. You know, maybe you're just like, you really just want to like focus on making better thumbnails, better titles, and, you know, better just everything in general. And so that's probably why I've like tried to like, you know, a little bit here, but then I'm like, okay, I gotta lock in, you know. Dave, I'm just making jokes. Dave's not getting my personality. I really, you know. I say I don't need the mic, but I literally like I could talk for hours and hours, and never shut up. So, hence I started at 11 o'clock. I'm about to go for 2 hours, and I can't shut up. Yeah. Dave, you can't keep. I'm just gonna keep making jokes about myself if we keep talking about this. Self-deprecating. All right, my friends. Thank you so much. And aren't you supposed to be working out, Dave? Aren't you? You better be doing. What are you doing? What are you working out on? What are you working out? Is it leg day? You better get those legs. Better get those legs up. I can't stand those dudes that look, they look so good up here, and you look at their legs and you could literally just like, you just knock them over. Never miss leg day. It's a sign of strength. But see, if you're a drummer and a skateboarder, you don't have to worry about leg day. Your legs are already, you could already kick someone over a house, so. All right, anything else, guys? Anything else? I think that's it. I think we covered everything we wanted to cover. We appreciate every single one of you. We gave as many shout outs as we could. Thanks to Don Cabrera, John316, Mr. Headband. We got Jordan Shirtliff, Steve Hickey, Ranchin. We have Eric Espacino, Scuba Gerbil, Mr. Dave Digital, iSpeed Demon, Mr. Jake, K-Pack, BB, yep, good seeing you guys today. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. You know, all jokes aside, all jokes aside, and Dave grilling me over here. You'll see me at places. You'll see me everywhere, but we don't want to be too annoying. But yeah, you'll probably start to see me places and things. And some of the places you'll be like surprised. You'll be like, "Whoa, what the heck?" But that's for time to tell. So yeah. So we will see you guys on the next live stream, which will be tonight. It'll be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think we're going to set up a Halo game. We're going to be playing some Halo Infinite, I think. We're going to cover the markets. We're going to have some news planned. We're going to see what develops over the day. And we're going to have some fun. Dave, did you really have to say that? He's like, look, no one's watching right now anyway, so I can grill you if I want to. Dave, you're hilarious. You're funny. All right. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Oh my gosh. Peace out. Pointing out the obvious.
Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting.
We're at Jack's Park in Jacksonville, and this place might be the craziest skate park I've ever been to. Fully under a bridge. I'm going to show you the whole thing.